Have your attention, please. It's my great pleasure to welcome everyone here today on a sunny day. It's probably the first one we've had this March. This was supposed to be a dedication ceremony followed by baseball games. It's going to be a dedication ceremony followed by lunch, followed by whatever else you want to do because the fields are too wet. My name is Bill Fox. I'm General Counsel for J.P. Mascaro and Sons. I've been representing the Mascaro Corporation and family members since 1983. And at times it's been a long journey, but it's always been a happy journey. It gives us everyone, the family, Mascaro family members, the corporate employees, the neighbors, the township officials, and the Methacton Baseball Association are greatly pleased to be able to dedicate this field and park in memory of Frank Mascaro's name. The Frank Mascaro Memorial Baseball Fields and Community Park. The idea originated with Pat Mascaro Jr. many years ago, and it has grown to fruition to where it is today. I'm going to give you a little roadmap of what's going to happen today, because this is not a sit-on-your-tail dedication. You're going to have to get up and move. Work up an appetite for the good lunch we're going to serve. We're going to start out with an invocation by Monsignor Murray. Then we're going to have the presentation of the colors by the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 349. They'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we're going to have an introduction of various dignitaries, and I don't mean politicians, I mean people that helped this project get to where it is. Then we're going to have some family remarks from Pat Mascaro. There'll be a special presentation by Pat Mascaro Jr. Then we're going to all adjourn to the baseball fields for the first pitch. We have a wonderful vocalist who will sing the national anthem. We have 4 first pitchers. Jimmy Mascaro, Pat Mascaro, Bobby Wine, and Michael McDougall. I'll tell you a little bit about them later. And then we'll be back here for lunch. Now lunch, that's the most important part. You can see how these tables are set up. They're designed, we have a lot of people here, and we'll be able to serve you all at one time, but you have to go up both sides of the table, so there'll be 4 separate lines to get food, so we can get you through quickly. The condiments are over towards the back of the tent. So don't look for the mustard or the ketchup or the relish for your hamburgers or hot dogs at the food table. It's a separate table. And for those that like pig or pork, down here is a beautiful pulled pork station. At this time, I'd like to begin the ceremony by introducing Monsignor Murray for the invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, on these holy and beautiful days of spring and of new life, we gather to dedicate, to give thanks, and to beg your renewed blessings. We dedicate this beautiful facility to the memory of Francesco Mascaro, your child, a good and generous man, a loving and beloved son and brother and uncle and friend, an esteemed chief to many. We give thanks for the blessing of his memory. We give thanks for his generosity and that of his family, which has made this facility possible. We give thanks for the goodness and the care and the love of so many whose interest, involvement, cooperation, and gift of time and talent and treasure have made all of this possible and will continue to make it fruitful in the days and years to come in the lives of our youth and our community and their families. Finally, gracious God, we ask your continued blessings, your guidance, your protection. We beg that this facility always be a place of safety and growth and healthy competition and friendship and community love. We entreat your kindness on this place and its facilities. They will contribute to the leisure activities and renew the spirit, spirit and strengthen the mind and body of our youth and all of our citizenry. Grant that all who meet here may find the enrichment of companionship and together offer you the praise that is your due. We ask this through Christ Jesus, our Lord and our brother. Amen.
Jimmy told me not to touch that, so the Monsignor did it instead. At this time, I'd like to present the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 349 Color Guard, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color guard post. Thank you, gentlemen. Before we get to some introductions, I think it's fitting that we thank certain individuals who, in very short notice, starting yesterday, got everything ready here for today, including the tent and everything else you see here. I'd like to thank from our company the following individuals. Obviously, James Lee Mascaro, who was the coordinator for this whole project and this event. Kevin Davis, Tom Cook, James Lund, and Frank Sal. Let's give them a small hand. If you know anything about the Mascaro family, they're not big on public recognition. If they have something they want to do for the community, they just do it. They don't talk about it and look to receive publicity about it. Well, I'm going to make an exception today on this project because of who it's for, Frank Mascaro, Frank the Chief Mascaro, and because of the extended family who loved him to the core and who he loved back. At this time, I'd ask, and I'm not going to call them by name because I'll forget somebody. The Mascaro family, the brothers, their spouses, their children, their children's children, and anyone who thinks they're close to being related to the Mascaros, please stand up so we can recognize you. Come on, get up. Thank you. Next, there's going to be some remarks on behalf of the family and the company, and those remarks will be given by Pat Mascaro, the president of J.P. Mascaro and Sons.
If I could have your attention for 10 minutes, we can get to the food and you can enjoy the amenities that are here. The first thing I would like to do is I'd like to acknowledge the people that made this project a reality. I'd like to acknowledge the Lower Providence Township Board of Supervisors, especially Supervisor Pat Duffy and Supervisor Jason Sorgini. They were early advocates of the project. I'd like to thank the neighbors in close proximity to this park. It was a very refreshing experience to witness personal preference and political expediency placed aside for the collective good of the community. I'd like to recognize the family of the late Jason Taylor. I had the opportunity to sit with Mr. Taylor several times prior to his passing, and I must say his passion for the Methacton Baseball Association was both admirable and motivational to me. I'd like to thank my son, Pat, for his advocacy over a 15-year period, whispered in everybody's ear who were listening, including my own, that the youth of Lower Providence Township deserved a world-class facility to have their baseball experience. I'd like to thank all the contractors and all the individuals that worked on the field. Their commitment to professionalism and quality craftsmanship is self-evident in the project, and it is truly very much appreciated. I'd like to thank some of the key people from J.P. Mascaro & Sons who were instrumental in this project. Director of Engineering Ryan Inch, Registered Engineer John March, Director of Purchasing Tom Cook, and Project Manager James Mascaro, my youngest son. Jimmy truly gave this project the tender, loving care that it deserved, and he made some critical design changes during the course of construction that made this project truly what it is today. I also want to thank my brothers and our entire family for their willingness to contribute 10 of the best development acres remaining in this township to a recreational project. It's really appreciated. Last but not least, I'd like to thank our God for giving our family the capability and the resources to participate in this type of project. We congregate today in a very special place, a very meaningful place to so many of us who grew up literally within walking distance of this park. And some of us grew up within a baseball stroll of this park, even if you had a week on. And it's interesting because in our youth, many termed this part of town as the other side of the tracks. But this was home base to so many of us. This was South Trooper. We wouldn't change growing up here for any other place in this world. What we may have lacked in material possessions, we made up with a sound core value system, and we had a deep appreciation for the concepts of loyalty, family, and friendship. And these concepts served us very well in our lifetime. In these parts, we witnessed our blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth parents teach us about hard work with their actions. They made it abundantly clear to us that the world afforded much opportunity, but if we wanted a piece of it, we were going to have to work for it. I can tell you that it's really interesting and ironic to me that where we congregate today is a fact that these were the sandlot baseball diamonds of our youth. And it is here where we developed a very competitive and fair spirit through the playing of sports. And it is a fact that the two greatest baseball players ever to come through the Methacton school system were born and bred 5 minutes of walking distance of where I'm standing. 5 minutes to the north was Kraut Bobby Childress. 5 minutes to the south was Robert Wine Jr., known as Robert. The man that will hold the name of this park from this day going forward was a suburban athlete in his day. but he was much more than that in life. He was representative of the humble pride coming from this part of town, and he meant so much to so many during his lifetime. Permit me to tell you a little bit about him. Francesco Antonio Mascaro, known in different circles as Frankie, Crankin, Corleone, Chiefy, the Chief. He was a beautiful combination of his parents, Joseph P. and Ida E. He had hands of steel like his father. He had a heart of gold like his mother. He was a dutiful son, instrumental in the early formation of the family business. He was a loving and supportive brother who, through his actions from an early age on, taught me the concept of brotherhood. He was an incredible uncle. One need only ask any of his 18 nieces and nephews to find out how incredible. He was a friend through thick and thin. He was generous to a fault. He would give you the money out of his pockets and the shirt off his back whether you needed it or not. And in life he became a man of enormous resources, but it was always intriguing and interesting to me. He was never much interested in things, but he was instead interested in the well-being of others. He always seemed to be ahead of the curve, even from an early age in his adolescence. He was on the front end of sports, music, fashion, finances. He truly was one of a kind. He was a unique man. He loved life, life loved him. He embraced life, life embraced him. He's emblematic of this part, first class in every aspect, with a winning way. And I have no doubt, through the grace and goodness of God, that his spirit of fundamental fairness and basic decency will permeate this park with competition, sportsmanship, camaraderie, and old-fashioned fun for years to come. It is my hope that everybody that comes into this park experiences joy and well-being. And I also hope for generations that people, the families that come here under the watchful eye and guiding hand of the Lord. And in closing, I want to say that my brother smiles about this big, and he is in the house today. You go to the bank. And he's looking down here, he's proud. And he's proud of the men and the women that have come out here from these streets around here. Because this is who we are. My brother Frankie understood real well that to appreciate the present and anticipate the future, you have to have an understanding and recognition of your past. And I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Through the years, I've heard that the Mascaro boys have really gotten rich through the years. The Mascaro boys started out rich, because richness has nothing to do with dollar bills, even though Frankie had plenty of them. Riches has to do with family and friends, and we had the best of that. But before I leave the podium, I would like to recognize my mom and dad who left us a long time ago, but they're at the foundation of this thing. I'd like to recognize my sister Rosie that was called home to the Lord several years ago. I'd like to recognize my brother Joe, who's in Florida, couldn't get back in time. I'd like to recognize my brother Lou and his friend Patty, my brother Mike and his wife Mary, very important person to me, my wife Susan Lee, and it would be fitting to recognize Jim Salvesen Sr., my father-in-law, because he don't get out much, and I'm really happy he's here today. God bless everybody, and thank you from our family, from our hearts, for coming out here.
For those of you who've had the opportunity to read the program, you'll see, and you probably heard just from listening to Pat's speech, that Frank Mascaro was a generous and giving person. If he were here today, he would love these fields because he loved children. And he would be thrilled that this community park and the Chief Stadium was built in his memory. I can also tell you if he was here today, he would not have come empty-handed. He would be here giving something to somebody or to everyone. He's here in spirit, and on his behalf, we're going to have a special presentation to give something he would love to give if he were here today. And for that presentation, I'd call up Pat Mascaro, Jr.
Thank you, everybody. Like most of you, I'm not a big fan of this talking in public stuff. It seems like every time I do it, I have to follow my dad, who next to my mom is the best public speaker I know. So I'm going to do my best here to follow in their footsteps and do what they always told me. Because I've always been told by them that whenever you speak from the heart, and it'll come naturally. So, as you know, we are here today dedicating this park in honor of Uncle Frankie. There's no debating that this is a well-deserved honor. He was truly kind, caring, loyal, and extremely generous. He was more than an uncle to me. He was my friend. He called me every day, stopped to see me often. We went on trips together. We attended tons of sporting events, specifically Flyers games. He was amazing. However, he's not the only one. While we're here to honor the chief, we wouldn't be able to do that without his four brothers, Joe, Lou, Mike, and Pat. Without their generosity and continued commitment to the community, there wouldn't be a Francesco A. Mascaro Community Park. Their story is one many of you know, one books are written about. From humble beginnings, hard work and determination, the ups and downs of a family business, to their unparalleled success in a difficult industry. They are the American dream, but through it all, they've never forgotten who they are, where they come from, what it took to get here. Take a drive around this community and the surrounding communities, and you'll see numerous examples of their generosity. I assure you, though, there are countless more examples that you will not see, as recognition is not what they seek. They've instilled in my siblings, my cousins, and myself the importance of being present, actively participating in the community, and giving back in whatever capacity you can, whether it be your time, your money, or your resources. I'm proud to be part of this family and blessed to be able to continue their spirit of generosity. So on behalf of the third generation of the Mascaro family, your co-workers, and this community, I'd like to say thank you, and for all that you've done, and to present you with a gift of gratitude to help commemorate this event. So if you guys don't mind coming up, we got a little something here for you.
Pat, Mike, Lou, please come to the stage. Mike Mascaro, you in the house? There he is, that is sneaky. Now, I'm going to want all of you to open these simultaneously. Right here, Pat. Right here, Mike. Come on, get back here. Get back here. This is a gift from the chief. Just rip it apart. Pat, hold it up so people can see it. This is a gift and a coat, and I know you all will wear it proudly. Maybe even today you can put it on if it's not too warm out here today. Okay, now's the time we're going to move. And let me give you a little instructions. The first pitch is actually going to be held in the Chiefs Stadium. There's 230 some seats down there, and there's a concrete concourse on either side of the press box that can hold hundreds of people. If you could please try to stay off the grass because it's very wet and the grass is somewhat new. We'll go down there for the first pitches, and then we'll come back here and we'll have lunch. So I'd like to welcome you to the opening day of the Chiefs Stadium. It's a beautiful day, and we're about to get started with the first pitches. Could I ask the first pitchers, Jimmy Mascaro, Pat Mascaro Jr., Mike McDougal, and Bobby Wine to approach the mound. Also, we need our battery mate, Gavin Taylor, who's going to receive the first pitches, if they get to him. Before we have these gentlemen do what they're going to do, we're going to have the national anthem sung by Teresa Loudon Benedetti, and I'd ask you to rise and join us in honoring our nation's flag.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Teresa. You'll be hearing from her again. Okay, here's the order. Hey, Rock. We're starting off with Pat Mascaro Jr. The reason why we're starting with him is he's the originator of this project. Without his thought and his persistence, this project would not be. Pat, good luck. It's a strike. Good job. Next, James Lee Mascaro. Jimmy! Jimmy Mascaro. Whoa, 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 whoa! This man is solely responsible for every piece of work that went into this project and for what it looks like today. I think we should give him a round of applause. I must say he did have some help though, but he's the man. Okay, Jimmy, let it rip. Oh, wait a minute. Give him another one, Gavin. Give him another one, Gavin. Come on. Oh, Jimmy.
Give it another try.
You only get two, though. You only get two. Close. You're good enough. Next we have Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine's a 12-year Major League Baseball veteran, Gold Glove shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies, and he's representing the Friends of Frankie Mascaro. Bobby's also a
neighbor in this community. Okay, Bob. You did better than Jimmy. And last but not least is Mike McDougal. Mike is a 12-year Major League veteran baseball pitcher, a starter and a closer, first-round draft choice out of Wake Forest, Major League All-Star, and most importantly, he's married to Mary Mascaro. He's representing the Matacton Baseball Association. All right, Bob. It wasn't 96 miles an hour, but it works. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Gavin. Okay, we're going to close this with another song by Teresa. Hold on a second. We got Jimmy.
Sorry about that grounder. There's one person we forgot to thank for this whole event. Certainly should have not missed, but we did. And it's Bill Fox. He's a long-standing corporate counsel for J.P. Mascaro and Sons. Very close advisor to the family. And you'll be surprised with this last one, but he's also our party planner. So give it up for Bill Fox.
Thank you, Jimmy. Okay, to close this portion of the program and then to head for lunch, we're going to have Teresa sing God Bless America.
Please join in.
Join in if you know the words.
Hello.
Please join in singing. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Okay, that concludes the program at the field side. Two things. First, the Chief Stadium and Community Park is now officially open.